Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Simplified. In my previous video, I had quizzed why the following 3 cash flows have slightly different XIRR, even though all of them have the same pattern of paying 10,000 for 10 years and receiving 1,35,000 at the end of the 10th year. And when we use the IRR function instead of the XIRR function, once again we get a slightly different answer. However, the IRR function is giving the same answer across all 3 cases. The answer is because of leap year. But it's not just the number of leap years that matter, because in both these cases, there are 2 leap years each, yet the XIRR is slightly different. The real reason is the relative position of the leap years. Let's examine this further. Here I have calculated the number of days of gap between each payment. In this cash flow, the leap year comes early, and you will see that the 4th payment is happening after 366 days of the previous payment. Whereas in this cash flow, the leap year is a year late, and hence the 5th payment is happening after 366 days. In XIRR function, the default assumption is that each year is of 365 days. But here the payment is happening after 1 more day. So the calculated rate of growth for a year will come slightly lower for this year. The same thing happens in this case also, but it happens a year earlier. So the difference is in the relative position of the leap year with respect to the first day of the payment or when compared to the last day of the payment. To make it more clear, I have calculated the difference in the days from the beginning of the payment. This is 365 days from the first payment, and this is 730 days from the first payment, and so on. You can see that for these 2 years the numbers match. But in the 3rd year, the payment here is a day early. From the 4th year onwards, the payments again match. Once again, the payment is a day early here. So there are 2 instances where the payment is made a day earlier in case 1 as compared to case 2, and all other payments match. And an early payment of cash but with future value remaining the same means a lower growth rate. And that is why we see a smaller number here as compared to this. But when we use IRR function, we are not considering the dates at all. We are only taking values into account. So it doesn't distinguish between leap years and normal years. It assumes that all years are equal in length. In fact, it doesn't even bother whether it's years or month. We could have these cash flows that are months apart and we would get monthly IRR. Or if we have these cash flows weeks apart, we will get weekly IRR. In any case, it just assumes that the time gap between each cash flow is exactly the same, and hence it gives the same answer in all 3 cases. We can test this hypothesis also. I will shift the payment date here to make it equal to 365 days. Now that I brought down the time gap between each of these payments to exactly 365 days, you can see that the result under both XIRR and IRR function is exactly the same. So not only the number of leap years, but also the relative position of the leap year with respect to the starting date of the payment also brings about this change in XIRR.